Hello and welcome to the conclusion of round 3, and this is the Bentley A&A Cricket Show. We've got Adam Mickelson and Adam Kane here.
Welcome back.
Thanks, mate.
And you brought us 6-packs. You drank all the beers out of my fridge last week, so...
Oh, okay. Well, on another note, it's the week that Tiger Woods is in town, and I think that was starting to become a bit of a nickname for yourself at the end of last season, Tiger Woods, after the 80th celebrations.
What?
That's when you were like sleeping in the golf cage. That's right.
That was a long night.
Yes. Anyway, so round 3 is completed. Another round of 1 days, and judging by the weather for this Saturday, it looks like it's possibly going to be another round of 1 days for round 4. But anyway, we'll head into how things went in round 3, and I think it's well documented. It was a bit of a dark day for Bentley A&A on Saturday, not only for Longyear Shield, but I think all grades lost on Saturday, which is not a good sign. But ultimately, the firsts thought we thought we were a chance against Bentley Uniting, but unfortunately, what can you call it? The way that the round panned out, where it was week 2, that allowed Simon Surridge to have another week off, week 1, and make himself available for week 2, and he did the job as he's done for many years, and took 6 for 11, I think it was.
Yeah, look, I actually got down there for, I think when I got down there it was 4 for 60, and look, this is my opinion, and it's what I'm about to say, but what I saw was, look, hard to say, but it was weak as piss. It was disappointing, it was insipid, and look, I just think it's time now where, I think the club's put enough time and effort into these kids where either there's a few things, there's no preparation or there's no application, or, they just got ahead of themselves, I think. And I think it's time now that, I think I touched on it last week, that I think there's some guys pushing through on the twos, and it's time for kids to go back and get time at the crease, get some runs under their belts, and hopefully push for a spot in the ones, because I think that the way that we've run it, and look, I was the main architect with you and other people at the club in the last few years, and we pushed the kids ahead of everyone else. And I think in doing that we'd probably eliminated, that pressure for someone to actually retain their spot and push for a spot and learn how to do that. And I think that might have backfired a little bit, but I think that it's just time now that I think that look, after I left that game, I was pretty disappointed for a few days after that, because the amount of time and effort that and look, it's not as if it's the first year; it's the 3rd year in, and these guys are into their 20th, 30th games, and to make a paltry 70 against, look, Surridge was coming in off half his run, and to see him take, I think, 4 for none or whatever, something ridiculous at the end there. To make 70, and it was hard to watch. It really was hard to watch. So, and again, this is my opinion, and and as vice president, I'm sure you've got an opinion as well. But something's got to happen now that to be addressed. Because I looked last night on the website, and the top 4 or 5 are averaging 9. I think Campbell might be averaging mid-20s as well as Biggs. I know they're 1-day games, so you're limited in terms of how many runs you can make, but still, that's no excuse. It's a game of cricket, and if Biggsy didn't make 44 against Kingston Heath, you might have lost that as well. So it just needs to be more consistent performance from across the board. And
as you say, the younger guys have been around for over 30 games now, and we can only hope that they can step up and start stamping their authority on games, rather than maybe just waiting for someone else, which has probably happened over the last couple of years, with the luxury of yourself in the lineup as an example.
But yeah, and again, it comes down. I'm not a selector, and I don't want to be, but just from the outside looking in, it's I think there was a couple of guys who have now put some runs together in the twos. So for mine, it would just be getting those guys straight in, because the top order's not performing. So if they're not performing, that's what you hang your hat on as a cricket club in terms of making big scores, is your top 4 or 5 making a big total. And if those guys aren't doing it, you've got to get guys that are doing it into the team. And hopefully those guys that are scratching around, and they might be hitting them well in the nets, but they might need just a break in the twos, and get 30, 40 overs out in the middle. And again, 3 games in, you're 1 and 2. rather do it now than after Christmas and you're staring down the bottom of the ladder. So
yeah, absolutely. It's something that you can't take many positives out of. I think there were 2 scores of 15, 2 scores of 16, a 3, and the rest were ducks. Pretty dark day, and the way they went out to bat straight afterwards, Bentley Uniting just reeked of made us, I guess. Reek of incompetence in comparison.
And, I feel sorry for the bowlers because, Brad Dolman, his first few overs were a bit short, but he really did bowl well from the sidelines looking at it. And, you had Razmi yourself. I think one positive come out of it for me is Andy Lee. I think he looked like he had a bit of rhythm again, and I think he bowled really well.
Yeah.
So that's a positive to draw out of it. But, geez, you wouldn't want to be a bowler having to,
defend 73. That's
every
right.
time. But again, for what it's worth, I just think the time's now, and I think you've got Gilly and Bryce and these guys pushing up some senior guys. I think it's just time to even push Stewie up the order. He's been around long enough, and I think you just got to put all your experience in that top for now, and to try and get through this period. And the guys that aren't performing, give them a spell.
Well, another test this week is last year's grand finalists in Mackie. So, I guess what better way to respond than to fight against a side like that?
And it's going to be a good test. So, and they're not travelling the best either. So,
No, they could be better off, but they got their first win on the board, and we'll go into Long Shield later on. But the seconds, as you were alluding to, there's some blokes who are putting their hand up. I think Bentley Uniting made 185 for 4, with Paul Morfitt taking 3 wickets, so that's a good sign as well. But in the end, it was a matter of making those runs, and in the end, we finished, I think, 11 runs short with about 3 or 4 balls to go when the last wicket fell, which was Bryce Jance, who was fighting pretty strongly at the end there. He made 43, along with Peter Bishop, who top scored with 44, and it's good to see Bishy, as you mentioned, an experienced name like that, throwing his name out there for the selectors to think about. And of course Anthony Gill, who has been doing the job in the twos at the top of the order with 38 as well. And I think Westy as well, Andrew West making a cameo 22 at the bottom there as well. So again, unfortunately a loss for the twos, 11 runs short. They're 0 and 3 in the Woolno, and need to get a win on the board. They're playing Rabban West this week, which will be a
tough game,
tough challenge, absolutely.
But it's good that Bryce is... I know he can't bowl this year, but for him, look, we always thought he's going to be a terrific all-rounder, and now he's starting to get some runs. It's good for the club that he's doing that. And
2 years ago, he won the bowling award for the first 11, so if he's going to play a full season as a batsman and focus on that, then that's fantastic.
Where's Cedric? Is he playing again?
Cedric played his first game for the season after...
I thought he got done for 3.
No, he got done for 2, like yourself. And
no, he was... I thought he was 4, and then it was added to 3.
Yeah, look, who knows what the tribunal was saying, thinking that day. But anyway, Cedric made his return. I think he top scored in the 3s, making, I think, 22 or 23. The thirds, unfortunately, were all out for about 94. Admittedly, Bentley Secondary College was very thick, the grass, so 94 was a reasonable score, but I think the opposition, which I think from memory was Aspendale Edithvale or something like that, they passed with about 3 or 4 overs to go. So unfortunately, no win there. James Coyne was the pick of the bowlers with, I think, 2 for 20, or 2 for 11 maybe, but 2 wickets for Coyne. In the fourths, nothing to write home about there. Des Falconer's team was unfortunately thrashed, I believe. I don't have the scores there, but also in the fifth 11 under Mick Minahan, we were playing Washington Park, and unfortunately we lost that game. I think we were chasing over 200 or something like that, and they had some guy who just came off the street at Washington Park and scored 100. And he's apparently got some sub-district background there. So, the old wash-ups in H grade.
Is the rumour true that Richard Smith wired up and was playing as well?
Richard Smith made his comeback.
How'd he go?
I think he made a duck. Which is unfortunate for Richie. Might have been first ball, I'm not 100% sure, but look...
Minna didn't run him out?
No payback from a few years ago when Richie ran Minna out when he was on 94 against East Bentley Central. But look, that's the first 11, and going down to the fifths at the seniors. The under-12s one, which was great. I think Jace Morgan took 3 or 4 wickets to go with his 79 or 75 last in the first week, and in the under-16s they just fell short themselves. But good to have full sides in both those teams. And I